All right, looks like 4 people might be here. I'm messaging with Katie because this YouTube live wasn't working. If there really are 4 people here, can you just comment in here that you can see me and hear me and that this live is working? I have been trying for 15 minutes to get YouTube to work. Now it looks like there might only be 2. Okay, yay! Thank you, Mary. Thank you. 15 minutes that I didn't think I was going to be able to actually do this live. I was like freaking out. Need some lavender for an anxiety attack. Oh, man. Technology. It's great when it works. Okay, yay. I just got a message from Katie. She can see me. Hooray! All right. So we've got about 2 more minutes. While we're waiting, share with me your favorite song that you've been listening to lately. What is your song that on your Amazon Music or Spotify or whatever playlist, what do you have going on repeat right now? The song I have stuck in my head after Katie's awesome dancing video for winning the USA Today Awards, I have that Opalite by Taylor Swift stuck in my head. No one's got any songs stuck in their head, huh? Or on their playlist? Your go-to song? Opalite as well. That's great. We're jumping around from 2 to 8 people, so maybe I'm not the only one having YouTube issues today. Maybe they're the other people having YouTube issues. I'm here. Hi! I'm glad you listed that as your name because I wouldn't have recognized it from the Facebook group. Sorry. We have switched. I don't know. Tell me where you're from and what the temperature is by you. We have had 3 nights in a row now here in Wisconsin, or at least my region of Wisconsin, where we have been below freezing. I've had to pull in all my plants. My entire entry area looks like a greenhouse or something. There are plants everywhere when you walk in the door. And we heat our house with wood heat, and the humidifiers have not yet caught up with the wood heat. And so our house is super dry. So I keep putting in eye drops, but my eyes are still super dry and watery. Southern Idaho, that's pretty far north. You're probably getting freezing temps too, aren't you? Sorry, I'm going to try not to touch my eyes through this entire live, but we'll see. I just put in eye drops before starting this, so we'll see if it clears up or not. 75 degrees in North Carolina. 73 degrees. Sheboygan hasn't had frost yet. That's great. 36 degrees the other morning. Indeed. Sorry, I'm just going to grab a paper towel so I can dab tears and stuff. This is just like the wrong moment to have this problem. Sorry. I apologize. Eye drops are not working for me. All right. Let's officially start the live. A heat wave in the 80s. Oh my goodness. Ready? I kind of am. We've had a really weird October. We had like a solid week where it was in the high 80s, and one day we even hit 90 in October. That is not normal for northern Wisconsin. So that it's just crazy. I'm kind of ready for cooler weather. My favorite all-time beverage is tea. I love drinking tea. Earl Grey is probably my favorite tea. And it's not as good in summer because it's too hot for tea. So I am cooler weather. I don't like it crazy cold. I like to be able to go outside and not put on 87 layers. A tea person too. Yay, we're in good company. All right. Southwest Virginia. Welcome, Kendra. Great to have you. What's the weather like there in Virginia? Probably warm, much warmer than here. So I want to start off the live by reminding you that as you make the kit with me, remember to share it on social media with hashtag I made this. We do a giveaway every month. So be sure that you tag at Simply Earth and hashtag I made this to be entered to win. Try to be a tea person once a year just to see if you like it. Still no. Drinking tea every night before bed. Yes, that is how I started. I started with having just like a nice chamomile tea before bed to like settle in and relax and read a book. And then I'd wake up in the morning and want more tea. But you can't have chamomile first thing in the morning. So I started drinking Earl Grey. It's got some caffeine in it. Funny. Anyone who knows Katie knows that she loves coffee, not tea. So I feel kind of left out when I travel to the office. They all drink coffee, and I'm sitting there with my tea. So I'm glad people in YouTube are on my side. I have friends on YouTube. This is great. I feel less lonely. A pot a day of coffee. Wow. Kudos to you guys. I couldn't do it. I get the shakes, like the jitters and stuff. Oh, man. I love learning about all of you. This is great. So, tea, coffee, no matter what you're drinking, we love having you here in our Simply Earth community. We love having you join us with a natural lifestyle. We love teaching you things. We love doing DIYs with you. We love seeing all of your awesome creations. The last live I did, we were sharing soap stories, which was great. And then we went to the Facebook community group and people were sharing all of their lovely soaps. So I love this community. I love that Simply Earth isn't just a company, it's a community. We love things together. I love is being able to save money with this company. We have honest prices. We cut out the middleman, unlike a lot of MLM companies, which because of commissions and things make the cost more expensive. I used to be an MLM rep, so I can say this honestly, that Simply Earth is the best oils company. I've tried many. I've tried a lot, more than a dozen oils companies, and Simply Earth is the purest and the most affordable and the most family friendly, the most budget friendly. So trust me, I'm experienced. I've tried them, not all, but I've tried many, and you are in the best place possible. This is the best community. I love being here, and I love the prices, and I love the products, and I love the empowerment of being able to learn how to, instead of buy toxic stuff from the store, being able to make it in my own home, chemical-free, and tailored to my personal scent preferences or texture preferences or whatever. So with that, we will start our shower steamers. If you have yours, you can make it with me and give me notes along the way. If you don't have yours, you can go to simplyearth.com, type in DIY. There's a whole bunch of DIY kits, so you can find them. You can search categories under kits, or you can just type in the search bar shower steamers, and there's recipe for me pages, but there's also the DIY kit will show up. Lots of different ways to find it on the website. I believe there's also a link under this video, but like I said, we've been having some tech issues, so I can't guarantee that that's working properly. Wisconsin Rapids, Aunt Wendy's on. She's my aunt. Well, technically my husband's aunt. She's my aunt-in-law, so good to have you. Don't need to ask you what the weather is. The first one you tried, and so glad. Simply Earth. Excellent start. You started like that song, God Bless the Broken Road That Led Me Straight to You. That's kind of my oils journey to get to Simply Earth. You just start off on the right foot. Well done. Citric acid. soap wraps. These are fairly new to Simply Earth. If you haven't tried these yet, they're really fun. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use them today because shower steamers need about 24 hours to harden. But I will post pictures when they're done tomorrow. Make sure my box doesn't fall off my table. These are so fun. I love these little boxes that come in DIY kits. Ow! They hold the oils. So fun. It's like the recipe box, but it's only 2 instead of 4, but they hold your extras, your recipe card. They're super fun. In this kit, we get cedarwood, Himalayan cedarwood, not Atlas cedarwood. Did you know we have 2? Most oils companies only have 1. We're fun. We have 2. And cardamom. Cardamom is so great this time of year. It's like a very, like chai tea people in the group, very chai tea-esque. They make chai lattes too. Coffee people can join us in chai. We also designed these super fun stickers that go around your soap wraps. Again, I'm not going to be able to use these today because they're not going to be dry, but they're really fun. Again, I'll post pictures when they're done tomorrow. We're also not going to get to use these today, but there's 2 mica powders included. Did you know that we sell a 12-pack of mica samples? If you've never used mica powder, there's a 12-pack, and you get a sample bag like this of all of our mica powders, and you can just play with them and try them. They're great for makeup. They're great for bath bombs, shower steamers, all kinds of stuff. So if you've never played with mica, there's that 12 sampler pack. Otherwise, you can get full... I don't have one handy. You can get full bottles of it, which come in our Hero kit. You get every mica powder we offer. They're pretty sweet. I think they're 5 gram. Don't quote me on that. That's off the top of my head. Unless there's an oil I need and they don't carry it, but then I feel like I was cheating. Yep, totally get it. Love chai. Yes, I love chai too. All right. So, deep breath shower steamers. You're going to need your citric acid. You're going to need your menthol crystals, almond oil, which is included. It also comes in your big bonus box for free if you're a recipe box subscriber. Pretty sweet. Cedarwood, cardamom, 12 cavity mold, your mica powders, the labels, and the soap wraps. From your home, you need 1 1/4 cup baking soda. I thought I was out this morning, had a total anxiety attack because I just made something from one of our other kits with baking soda and didn't think I had enough. The Lord provided. It was great. I have just enough to be able to do this live with you. 2/3 cup cornstarch, which I also have pre-measured. 1/2 teaspoon of water plus more is needed. And as always, we recommend distilled water just because it helps your product last longer. This one doesn't have a preservative in it. Typically, when we do recipes with water in it, we recommend a preservative. This one's pretty solid. Not really enough water to require a preservative. So we left that out. And then the paintbrush from your home is for the step after 24 hours when you're painting the mica powders on. So I don't need a paintbrush today. Some other things you'll need. You're going to need 2 bowls. You're going to need some measuring spoons. Something unique you're going to need is a rolling pin. Pretty cool. Anyone want to guess why you need a rolling pin? Oh, see, this is what I love about the community. Somebody asked a question, I didn't see it and get to it, and somebody else jumps in and answers it. This is why I love this community. This is so great. All right. No guesses on why we need the rolling pin, huh? Why do you need a rolling pin for shower steamers? No guesses? Roll the top. That's a great guess. Typically, because it's a silicone mold and it's very squishy, a rolling pin will not work. We usually recommend scraping with like a butter knife or a spatula, but that's a great guess. Everyone's guessing put it into the mold. It's such a great guess, and it might work. But you'll probably end up squishing them. It's actually for the menthol crystals. So when they come, they're kind of a bigger, I don't want to say shard, but it kind of reminds me of glass shards. I accidentally spilled counter and my husband thought I broke a glass. So yeah, kind of like glass shards. So they come If I hold over my hair, can you see it better? There we go. Contrast, light and dark. So they come big like this. And if you just put them straight into the recipe, you're going to have a couple of problems. One of your problems is going to be that it breaks up your shower steamer. Such a big, hard piece. When you go to take it out of the mold, it'll crumble on you. So you want to break them up for that. Also, even they do dissolve well in hot water, but like anything, the bigger the chunk, the longer it'll take to dissolve in hot water. So a big shard like that one that I just pulled out may not fully dissolve by the time you're done with your shower. So, sorry. We roll them with a rolling pin. You can also whack it with a meat tenderizer, but you might put holes in the bag. I tried it just to see if I could recommend that. You'll need a lighter hammering touch than mine. I was probably a little bit too strong arm with it. You can also use the back of a spoon. So if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use the back of a tablespoon as long as your spoons aren't super bendy. I've got pretty thick tablespoons at home, but a friend of mine, hers are super bendy. She can't scoop ice cream with her spoon. So I find that funny. I tease her about it. All right, so after you use your rolling pin or your meat tenderizer or your spoon or whatever you want to have, it's a little bit more powdery. Yeah, trying to get that clear for you. A little bit more powdery. How come you don't melt them and add them to the recipe? Okay, this is interesting. It's either the Bath and Spa Hero Kit or the Home Remedies Hero Kit. I want to say the Home Remedies Hero Kit. It could be both. They are melted. They actually go in with it's solid coconut oil and some almond oil. I've made a lot of shower steamer recipes, you guys. I'm sorry if I'm mixing them up. Don't quote me on most other recipes. I don't have them in front of me. So in that one, they are melted in. Fun story, when you pull anything with menthol crystal, this goes for our mentholated chest rub too. And I think there's a recipe in this month's recipe box that has menthol crystals in it. If you do it either a double broiler or a microwave, whichever version you use to melt your stuff in, don't make the mistake of, I wonder how good this smells, and stick your face right above it, because superheated menthol crystals are insanely strong, and I almost passed out on my basement floor by making that dumb rookie mistake. So even if you've been using oils for 12 years, you can still make stupid mistakes. Don't stick your head directly above something that you've just melted menthol crystals in. A little bit dangerous. Handle of mortar and pestle? Yep, definitely. Yep. So melting the menthol crystals in the microwave and in the liquid part of your shower steamers. Yep, that method works too. I've done that as well. This one is just a little bit less. You don't need as much equipment to do this one. And it works well too. Both methods work. If you want to melt them, that's totally fine too. That's one of the things I love about Simply Earth recipes, is that a lot of them are customizable. There's very few things that are like strict with rules. Lotions are probably the most strict, maybe bath bombs. But like if I didn't want to use almond oil, if I was making these for a friend who had a nut allergy and I was a little nervous about it, I could swap it out for avocado oil. Would probably work. Trying to think what other oils. I think jojoba oil is safe for people with nut allergies. I'm blanking on what other oils would be safe. I think coconut oil is a red flag for some people with nut allergies. But anyway, I love that our recipes, you can switch it up for your needs, preferences. It's really nice. Our hero course kind of highlights that things are customizable. All right, so we did step one. We crushed the menthol crystals. Now in a large bowl, you're going to combine the menthol crystals, citric acid, baking soda, and cornstarch. So, crushed up menthol crystals. That would be a helpful tool. All right. citric acid, which you need a half a cup. I did not pre-measure this because I wanted to show you taking it all out of the box. List in the comments some other recipes that you have made using citric acid. I love citric acid. This is one of my favorite extras that Simply Earth has. I use it in a bunch of different recipes, including a couple I'm working on formulating. Upcoming kits and things. The Hero course is getting some really nice updates to it. So tell me what other things you use citric acid for. Bath bombs, yes. Bath bombs are fun. All right, so we have our, oops, wrong direction. I need to pull it back toward me. I'm trying to like show you guys by putting it closer to the laptop. All right, so there's the citric acid. And I've pre-measured the baking soda and cornstarch so that you guys don't have to sit and watch me do that. I did bring, I don't know about you guys, my baking soda tends to clump up on me in its box. So I did bring a sifter, and we'll see how quick this goes. I don't want you guys to have to watch me do this for a half an hour. The reason I sift it, and I do this for pretty much everything that uses baking soda, is that when you have those clumps, and this doesn't matter so much for shower steamers as it does for like our fizzy bath powder or the bubble bath bars or bath bombs. But when you don't sift it and you have big clumps, it causes your consistency to be off, which again, for a shower steamer, you're probably going to step on the thing at some point anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But for like a fizzy bath powder, the baking soda won't mix with the citric acid as well if it's in big clumps and chunks. So I just prefer to sift it so that I know that it's getting incorporated evenly. And you don't have to, I'm doing the same thing with my cornstarch. On occasion, when it's really humid in summertime, when I buy the big bags of citric acid, I've had that clump up on me too, and I'll run that through the sifter as well. It's like snow. Oh, I'm not ready for that yet. I have too much yard cleanup. Are you guys all ready for snow? Somebody said they're ready for cold. I didn't see anyone say that they're ready for snow. Is anyone ready for that yet? Thank goodness it's not on our weather forecast for the next 10 days. We're doing a remodeling project for our living room, and our goal next week is to replace a patio door. That would not be fun in the snow. Although it's not unheard of. I can remember walking home from school on October 13th one year. I think I was in 7th grade, and I walked home in snow. It wasn't a full blizzard, but it was a lot of snow. That was a weird October. All right, now we're going to stir until evenly blended. And this is another reason why I put stuff through the sifter. Gets it more evenly blended. Spatula probably isn't the greatest tool for this. A whisk, being dry ingredients, is probably better, or a fork. But a spatula is what I have here in my studio, and so a spatula is what I use. I feel like we should have some music on. Should like party jam. It's quiet, not being able to hear you guys. A Zoom would be really fun. Zoom or Meet. That would be fun. Then I could actually see all of your lovely faces and hear your voices. Then we could actually make this stuff together. Descaling solution with citric acid. That's a great idea. No snow. We don't get snow in Florida. I don't know. They got snow in Texas. It could happen. It's possible. Highly unlikely, but it is possible. Live on a farm, and the boys are looking forward to snow. Yes, my kids are really looking forward to snow. When we brought in all the plants, they asked if it was almost Christmas and when they could go sledding. And I was like, not for a while. Not for a while. Used to live in California, and now in Idaho you get snow. Yep. Wasn't unheard of to get snow near the end of October. Yep. There have been many years. I didn't grow up trick-or-treating, but my friends all did. And there were years that they would have on their Halloween costumes, and then they would have to have like snow pants on underneath. So their moms would purposefully buy their Halloween costume like 3 sizes too big so they could fit snow pants on underneath. It was funny. I mean, not funny, but I thought it was. All right. So this is important. On the front of your recipe card, it says, reading upside down, 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of almond oil divided. So when you see that word divided on there, it means don't put it all in at once because you're going to have to save some for later. I'm not going to use the other 1.5 teaspoons today. It's for when you paint them with the mica powders. So I just need 1 tablespoon and 1/2 teaspoon of almond oil. And then I need my 1/2 teaspoon water. So I'm going to combine that with the essential oils in a smaller bowl. You don't want to put them directly in with the dry ingredients. You want to make sure that your essential oils fully mix with your carrier oils. So I'm going to do the essential oils and the carrier oil first, and then add in the water. Oh, if I don't drop stuff. My husband asked why I was taking the glass bowls and not the aluminum ones. Because when I test recipes, I always take the aluminum bowls because he knows I'm a klutz. And he's like, why are you taking glass bowls? I said, because it's a YouTube Live and I'm sure they want to see what I'm doing. Citric acid makes a great toilet bowl cleaner. Yes, indeed it does. For sure. All right. Essential oils, we need 20 drops of cedarwood and 10 drops of cardamom. One of my favorite things for cedarwood is to put it with orange in the diffuser when I want the kiddos to settle in before bed at night. Cedarwood is just very grounding and calming, being a tree oil, very grounding. And the orange is very mood uplifting. I love cardamom. I wish you guys could smell this. Order your kit, then you can smell these fabulous, fabulous oils. Cardamom with vanilla woods. That's a great blend. Drop a nutmeg in there too. Just takes it up another notch. So good. All right, so we have that. Now we need our water. I am going to stir these first though to fully get them incorporated. As everyone remembers from science class, oil and water do not mix, so it's very likely that your water, and I'm just going to sit on top. See if I can show you this without it spilling. So your water, just separate from your oils. That's just how it's going to be. You can try to stir it. You're just going to break it up and cause a bunch of smaller bubbles. This is totally normal. This right here is a really good visual of why we use emulsifiers, like emulsifying wax for things like lotion, body butter, different things like that, because water and oil don't mix. An emulsifier marries them. I think we call it the peacekeeper because water and oil hate each other. So just a really good visual of why we use emulsifying wax. So now we slowly pour the wet mixture into the dry ingredients, stirring constantly. You might notice a little bit of fizz. That's the water reacting with the citric acid. It's okay. Just keep going. So this is, you do it very slow and try to not put too much wet in one spot. So pour in a little bit, move it around, find another dry spot, pour in a little bit more, move it around, find another dry spot. I don't know if you can see or hear it. It is fizzing a little bit, not much. Whoop. Get some citric acid there. Now it's fizzing quite a bit. One thing to note, you can't smell it, but I can, is the menthol. If you have cats or rabbits, it's a good idea to make this in a room that they are not. Cats and rabbits are both really sensitive to menthol oils, or products in general, like menthol crystals. Something about the chemical components of menthols, spearmint, peppermint, wintergreen, all those kinds of things, they're really sensitive to it. So when you make this in your kitchen or while watching TV, just make sure that the door is open so that your pets can leave the room. It won't harm them. They just don't like it. So they will want to leave. And that's fine. So then you're going to use your hands and grab a handful and squeeze. And if it feels damp, like wet sand, it should also, this isn't holding together super well, like a snowball. Let me see if I can show you. It's almost there. Like that top piece is almost holding together like a snowball, but it slowly crumbles. So we need to add just a touch more water. You can also add more oil. This one says more water, so I will do more water. Add the water super slow and in very small amounts because the water will react more with the citric acid than the oil would, which is why some of our recipes on our website say add more carrier oil. Some of our recipes say add more water. So it just kind of depends. If this were a bath product, I would say definitely add more water, because when you add more oil to a bath product, you then kind of need to increase your Natrasorb bath powder so that it evenly disperses. I don't know if you can see or hear that. The water is reacting with the citric acid. When you add more oil to anything going in the bath, you need to increase your Natrasorb bath powder so that it disperses it through the bath water. A shower steamer, that doesn't really matter. I could add more oil to this and not need to increase. Well, this recipe doesn't have Natrasorb, so I wouldn't be increasing it. I'd be adding Natrasorb to it. Wendy says, my kids want snow. That's funny. She's watching my kids, so I can do this live with you guys. So they must also be watching. All right, so now we've got a lot more of a packy snow consistency. See how that's holding together on its own like that? So you don't want to go too much further than that. That's just about perfect. So now we're going to get our, there we go, 12 cavity mold. Try and center it for all of you so you can see what I'm doing. Now we're going to firmly press the mixture into our silicone mold. Let them dry in a cool, dry place for 24 hours. So this is probably better done with a spoon, but this spatula is my favorite tool in the world, so that's why it's down here. It doesn't get used for making things like pasta sauce, where it'll get all stained and gross and weird. All right, while I'm packing these, because it does take a little bit of time, tell me your favorite fall memory from your childhood. Could be apple picking, could be going to a pumpkin patch, could be jumping in leaf piles. Tell me your favorite childhood memory that has something to do with fall. October is I think, the ultimate fall month. September is still often very summery feeling. And November is kind of the start of the holiday season. And around here, we typically get at least some snow in November. But October is like fall, the real fall month. We would go to a harvest festival and get pumpkin ice cream. I've never heard of such a thing. Pumpkin ice cream. Did it have like cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff in it? Or was it just pumpkin and dairy and sugar? Is that all it was? Did it have like spices and stuff in it? It's okay if you don't remember. It was a while ago. We try to make our own homemade ice cream every once in a while, and I'm always looking for new, fun, unique recipes that you can't buy in the store. One recipe I found that I have not been able to replicate is like a green tea and honey ice cream we had one time at a cheese factory, because we live in the dairy state. It was just a seasonal limited time ice cream, and it was so good, and I have not been able to replicate it, unfortunately. Pumpkin ice cream sounds good. Pumpkin spice type of ice cream. That sounds really good. We have a local farm around here. They call it the Pumpkin Shed. And obviously they sell hundreds of pumpkins, hundreds of them. And they've got chickens, so they sell farm fresh eggs. And then a friend of mine who's a nurse at the hospital, she makes a little bit extra side money. She makes cold processed goat's milk soap and sells it at the Pumpkin Shed. So every year I go to the Pumpkin Shed and say hi, and the kids and I walk through and see all the pumpkins and how big they are. Some of them are like bigger than my kids. They're huge. And they always want to buy like one little pumpkin that they can like fit in their hands and take it home and paint it or carve it or whatever. So we like going to the Pumpkin Shed. It's fun. That's the only memory we're going to get? No other fun childhood memories? There's 17 people on, and one person shared that they went to the Harvest Festival. No one else has any other fun fall memories. riding a horse with a pumpkin you found on the road. On the road! It makes you wonder if, like, they were pumpkins, like a pickup truck load, and then it, like, bounced off over a bump. Or maybe somebody bought a pumpkin and set it on the roof of their car and it fell off. Of course, you would think if that was what happened, it would be, like, broken in pieces. Riding a horse while carrying a pumpkin. Wow, that's impressive. I love horseback riding. I am not talented enough to horseback ride and carry something along with me. Not that good. You lead a boring life, Kendra. I highly doubt you lead a boring life. You may think it's boring, but other people, I'm sure, find it fascinating. We each have our own skills and talents and interests that are unique to us and not like anybody else, and that we have done for a long time and no longer find unique. But I can guarantee you there is something unique about you and your childhood that no one else has experienced. I'm in a book club, and we were talking about a Bible verse, iron sharpens iron, and I just started talking about, like, oh yeah, well, when you draw out iron for sword making in a forge, and, you know, I started talking about blacksmithing, and the whole group just, like, turned and looked at me and was like, what do you know about blacksmithing? I said, well, my husband and I are blacksmiths, so we do this every December for our church. We do a Bethlehem thing, and, like, look, my husband and I are the blacksmiths. And they were like, what? And to me, this is just, like, not an interesting fact. Like, we've been doing it for years. I assume everyone knows. No, they were all surprised. So I guarantee you your life is far more interesting than you think it is. Interesting things that no one else knows. Hay rides and corn mazes. My kids want to do a corn maze this year, and I just don't know where there's one nearby. I'm sure if I look on Facebook, I'll find one. Loved going to the pumpkin patch and going on a hayride. Yes, I love wagon rides and hay rides. I think I packed these way too tight because I still have 2 open cavities. That sounded weird. I apologize. You're wearing a shirt that says iron sharpens iron. Oh, I love that verse. It's such a good verse. What is it? Proverbs 27:17? I think that's the reference. Proverbs 17:17? There's a 7 in there somewhere. All right, so I probably packed mine way too full. I have a tendency to do that. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee I packed mine way too full because the silicone is, like, bulging a little bit on the sides. So maybe pack yours slightly less when you make these. Also, I will tell you, shower steamers are very forgiving because I have in the past added way too much extra water or oil. And then I just compensated by adding a little bit more citric acid and a little bit more baking soda. I typically don't need to add more cornstarch, but more citric acid and baking soda. So while we're not on this live, to finish filling this cavity, because I packed these way too tight, I will probably do just that. I'll remake like a fourth of the recipe. Because they're forgiving, and I play with these a little bit, and I likely will get my math wrong. I do also always keep, anytime a recipe has a silicone mold, I keep a second silicone mold nearby just for extras. So if you don't own multiple silicone molds from Simply Earth, I highly encourage you to get another one from us. I probably have 3 of these molds now, just because when I'm playing with recipes and I'm trying to customize it from the hero course, I have a tendency to overcorrect and make way more than I need, so having another mold handy is always wise. Wendy says she'll tell us the whole story later. Of course she will. All right, that is pretty much it. We're not doing another live tomorrow in 24 hours, so I can't show you the painting on of the mica powders, but it's super easy. You just mix the mica powder with the leftover almond oil. And then when you pop these out, if I'm giving them as gifts, I tend to paint on this side. If you're giving them as gifts, you can smooth really nice like this. If you're just using them for yourself, you don't have to bother smoothing them out. I typically paint on the rougher side because it hides that it's rougher and not as pretty looking. And then the underside is prettier. You can also, if you wait for the top to dry, you can paint both sides of it, which is also kind of fun. And then the soap wraps, I will show you those. Let me grab something so I can just show you how these work. You ladies are lucky you get a sneak peek. This is a solid lotion bar that I just formulated for our gift-giving hero kit, which is launching in beginning of November. So they work like this. This is from our 12 cavity silicone mold. So then you just wrap it like this, and you just kind of fold it over a little bit, just like that. And a solid lotion bar obviously is more solid than a shower steamer is, so you'll have to be a little bit more lightly handed when you do your shower steamers. But you just kind of fold like this. If you are a seamstress, this will look very similar to pleating. Same principle. So you'll just pleat it over just like that. And then you'll hold it down. And then you'll grab your sticker and you'll place it over. I don't want to mislabel this. I don't want to confuse people, but it will go on just like that. And you will have a lovely little shower steamer. There you go. So that's how the soap wraps work and the stickers work. And you got to be the only group to see a preview of the November gift giving kit. How cool is that? Aren't you glad you joined the live now? All right. Does anyone have any other questions? Anything? Any shower steamer questions or experiences you'd like to share? Any other full memories you want to share? I'm not seeing anything. All right. So with that, I will conclude today's live. Thank you all. New to this. So all is amazing. Yay, Ruth. I'm so glad. Doing oils and natural living and DIYs. I've been doing it for 12 years now. And I still, Katie and I were working on a new recipe yesterday, and I made a successful lotion for my first time. And it was like 12 years, and I've done hundreds of recipes, but lotions have always kind of been like the Mount Everest, because you've got to like get them both at the right temperature, and then you've got to like mix and pour and all at the same time, and then there's the ice bath, and you feel like an octopus. Like you need 8 arms to like do it all. And so I've never worked up the courage to actually tackle doing lotions. And Katie has just this gift of teaching that is just so unique and great, and she can teach a beginner who's never touched an oil bottle in their life, and she can teach somebody who's been doing oils for 12 years, and you just walk away feeling so confident. And like the hashtag I made this for this company is just, it's perfect, because I walked away and I went upstairs and I went to my husband. I was like, I made this, and like I'm giving lotion to my kids and my husband. I'm like, try this, I just made it. And so like I was so excited and so happy, and like just this confidence that I had. I was finally, after 12 years, able to tackle the Mount Everest of making a lotion. So it's stable today. It hasn't separated, which is like a fear of lotions. And it's just, I love this company. I love the community. It's so supportive, and it's all about education. It's just great. It's such a great community. I do the same thing with my husband and kids. It's true. It's true. Do you know if Simply Earth will consider selling the labels on the website so you can make more? Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm supposed to share with upcoming product launches. With the gift giving hero kit, we have labels that you can customize because the recipes are customizable. So we weren't able to make, like, we don't know what oils you're going to put in whatever products. The hero kits are all customizable. So we're just giving you blank labels that you can design and print yourself. So I don't know if these will ever be available. That's a great question for me to ask our production development team. I will make a note of that and ask them. Always keep pencils and paper nearby. Labels for future making. Yeah, because you wouldn't want to keep buying the DIY kit every time. You'll end up with like 27 molds. That would be really irritating. So yeah, being able to buy just the labels is great. A migraine roll-on option. There are migraine roll-on. There's a head soothing oil, and I think we sell it as a roll-on. There are other, there are salves that are really great for head discomfort. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of just something to type into the top for the recipes for me pages. Head soothing is really good if you can find recipes that have head soothing in it. The muscle rub, that it's an ointment salve as well, but the oils in it are really good for head discomfort. Let me look into that. I know we have things specific for that, so I will look into that, Ruth. This has been great. You all asked such amazing questions. So I'm going to wrap up for today, and it was wonderful having you. Yeah, the head soothing oil blend helps. I would say that helps the most. I also just love peppermint for head discomfort issues. So that peppermint would be another one that I would try. So, all right. You ladies have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. I love this community. Any questions you have, by all means, please continue posting in here because we do go back and check the comments and things. So otherwise, I am totally available in the Simply Earth Recipe Box subscribers group. I love seeing your photos there. Make sure you show me your finished shower steamers, especially if you paint them. I love seeing everyone's. I'm not creative at all. So I was kind of glad it said let dry for 24 hours because I did not want to subject you to the painful, inhumane torture that is watching me paint. It's bad. My girls are creative. I am not. So, but please do share your photos and do hashtag I made this so that you can be entered into that contest. And also share photos of everything you make with your recipe boxes because we love seeing those as well. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next month.